Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, a team of local volunteers receives recognition for their hard work locating missing people, and find out about another group of people who works very hard to help the homeless and disadvantaged teens in our city. Here to discuss these topics and a whole lot more is the councilwoman who represents Ward 2. You know who it is. It's Victoria Seaman. Welcome back. How are you?
It's good to be here.
It's good to
6
see you.
weeks goes by really quickly.
It does. It does. Well, you're back, and we have a very, very full show. You've been busy these last 6 weeks.
Very busy.
Yeah.
Always, right?
Exactly. And we're going to show you what's going on in Ward 2. Probably get right into it because we got a lot to talk about here. Exactly. If you're not exactly sure where Ward 2 is located, well, have no fear. We're going to show you on the map. We know this area very well because it's where we live. But it's the area basically west of the Rainbow Curve. That area in orange, if you live in that area, work in that area, then you're in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And of course, if you're a resident out there like I am, then you are represented on the city council by Victoria Seaman. And let's just jump right into this. One of the things we're very proud of is you've got the pavilion pool out there,
yes,
right next to Palo Verde High and the Veterans Memorial Leisure Services Center. It's the training ground for the Sandpiper swim team. And they literally came home with the gold and silver.
Gold and silver medals.
At the Olympics. Yeah, we've been telling you that they were, a number of these swimmers, local kids, in the Olympics, and they just
they literally are kids.
Yeah, they are, from 15
So
years
proud
old
of
to
them.
24.
So
you know,
proud of them.
And they won big.
They won.
Big.
Every single one that won. And Katie, who didn't win, came in less than a second
Fourth
to win
place.
silver.
I know,
yes,
exactly. Yeah, we had 4 of the swimmers out there. Bo Becker.
He won the gold.
He won the gold. And then we also had
Erica.
Belle Sims, Erica Sullivan, and Katie Grimes. Now, Katie's 15 years old and missed 4th place by less than a half second.
Unbelievable.
And then, of course, we had this is Kelsey Plum from the Aces. She won gold on the women's 3-on-3 team.
And she's from Vegas.
Yeah, that's exactly. And
which is why we are becoming the sports capital of the world.
We are like this mecca now.
We are.
So there's Erica Sullivan right there.
So proud of all of them.
And then, of course, Bella Sims.
They did amazing, and they're so young, and they have a great future ahead of them.
They're just teens, most of these kids, and but boy, they're already Olympians, and big deal. Bo Becker is the veteran of the group. He's 24 years old. So Bo, a former Faith Lutheran student, and went to the University of Minnesota, was a All-American there as a swimmer, and now representing the United States in the Olympics. So congratulations.
That's one thing about the Sandpipers. They end up getting scholarships to colleges.
Yeah, big time.
Most of them. I mean, it's an amazing swim team.
Yeah, that really is. And we're proud because, of course, they train in Ward 2 at the Pavilion Pool, which is also home to another swim group. You posted this on Facebook. You said, "It was great to come out to our beautiful Pavilion Pool and meet the Nevada Desert Mermaids, one of the great local synchronized swim teams." Now, this group, they're not swimming, competitively as far as racing, but they are swimming competitively when it comes to synchronized swimming. Yeah.
And the coach is gearing them for Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, these girls are good. And this is right here in Ward 2 in our pavilion pool, and that's where they train. And that's why they asked me to come out and see some of their training and some of their shows, and it's always a pleasure because they're amazing.
Yeah, they really are. Now, you gave me a little bit of a tip because I'd always wondered how synchronized swimmers keep time when their heads are underwater with the music, and you said there's
a speaker that they put underwater.
Well, there
and
you go.
I just found out by being there and watching it happen. I didn't know that before.
I didn't either. I thought, that's amazing.
It
How do
is
they keep
amazing.
time with the music when they can't hear it?
Yeah.
But apparently, they are hearing something underwater.
They're hearing something.
Didn't know that.
Yes.
So much I know about synchronized swimming. But we're looking forward. Maybe we're going to see them in the Olympics too next time around.
I hope so.
In the 2024
They're pretty good.
games.
They're pretty good.
So, very good. Well, congratulations to them and all the hard work that they put in. Changing gears here, boy, tough situation. Lost one of our state troopers, Micah May, killed in the line of duty. Terrible situation. Young man.
Very young.
We had a suspect that was accused of carjacking, took a car, Trooper May was trying to put down those stop sticks to keep him from...
He's trying to keep people safe.
Yeah,
and in the interim lost his own life.
Yeah, he was hit by this gentleman, yeah.
And he's a true hero.
Yeah.
And it was really sad for Nevada and Las Vegas. And
the community
we're praying
really,
for his family and friends, for sure.
For sure, Councilwoman. And I have to say, the community really came out, the support from across the community when Trooper May lost his life. This gentleman and his son, it always touched my heart. Our videographer, Eric Sorensen, got this footage, but this gentleman and his son paid their respects by holding that flag while the entire procession went by that morning.
And there's the mayor.
Mayor Goodman.
We support our law enforcement here. And, you know, they're the ones who keep our community safe. Public safety, most important to our community. So we support them. And it was a sad day that we lost this great man.
Yeah. Trying to get out there, as you said, Councilwoman, trying to protect citizens, motorists that were on I-15. And in doing so, it cost him his own life. You can see, again, just residents coming out to pay their respects to he and his family. So we wish their family just peace as they try to get through this difficult time. And Councilwoman, you posted this on Facebook. This was very nice. You said, "It was an honor to present my dear friend Joe W. Brown with a proclamation from the City of Las Vegas recognizing July 31st, 2021 as Joe W. Brown Day."
Yes, this was his family's idea to come to us, and we were so honored to do it because he's a great man in our community. Sat on the gaming board for a while. He's done some great things for Nevada, and it's now Joe W. Brown Day.
Well, and it's nice that his family got to enjoy it too.
Yeah, it was very nice.
I think someone had mentioned that day, it's nice when we give people their flowers when they're still alive versus after the fact. And so, Joe, congratulations for all the work you've done in the community.
Good man.
Yeah, you got a kudo while you could be around to enjoy it, and we're glad to see that in your family right
80th
there.
80th birthday.
80th birthday, and his family's all there with him. That's very nice.
Very good family.
So, Councilwoman, I think we've talked about this on the show. We're Ward 2 residents, and I live very close to Bruce Trent Park. So every time we talk about Bruce Trent Park, I'm always very interested because it's definitely in my neighborhood. You posted this on Facebook. You said, "It was great to spend time with our crew beautifying Bruce Trent Park with a new park sign," and there it is.
Absolutely, and when you drive by that and not only see the sign, but you see the new playground equipment, it is so utilized.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the park looks completely different now, and it's beautiful. We have a pavilion, we have the new sign, we have the new playground, and kids and adults alike are enjoying it.
It gets a lot of use.
A lot of use.
There's, of course, playground equipment, as you mentioned. We have our farmers market takes place there.
Oh, yes.
There are tennis courts there.
And we're going to have Art in the Park.
Art in the Park is coming. We're going to talk about that later in the program. That is a huge event. We're going to tell you, if you're an artist out there and you want to display your works, listen up.
Yeah, you can be an artist anywhere from the whole valley. You know, we welcome artists from everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Bruce Trent Park's one of our older parks, and but now it looks brand new again.
Now it has a beautiful facelift. I even got to drive the cab.
I saw that. I
didn't actually drive it.
We didn't know the difference, though. You look like you were. So
yeah, it was fun.
Good stuff. Well, if you're ever in the neighborhood of Vegas Drive and Rampart, that's where Bruce Trent Park is located, sort of across from the TPC golf course entrance.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with that. The sports park is behind that.
Correct, yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff that goes on there. There's indoor
it's
soccer.
Very nice,
yeah.
Very nice.
And there's also paintball. They have paintball that takes place. But it's a very busy area and a highly utilized park. So thank you for the facelift, because it gets a ton of use. There are trails that connect there, so people walk and bike, walk their dogs in the area. And
well, it needed it. Happy to have put the money towards that park, our roof tax money, and we're just uplifting most of our parks now. They really need it. People are enjoying the outdoors after COVID.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that they enjoy our parks.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And get out there and enjoy that. also enjoy the new amenities there. It looks really good. And we're going to talk about Art in the Park coming up later in this show, but that's going to be a big event toward the end of September. We'll let everybody know about, So also, speaking of the parks, Veterans Memorial, this is one of your community centers, had a time capsule.
Oh, it was so great because Metro put some stuff in, the fire department here at the city, we put different things in, and it's just incredible. They take this little time capsule, or not little, pail, and they fill it with all these goodies and letters and different things. So they'll open it in 20 years and they'll see what happened during this time. And it'll be very interesting because we were coming out of COVID.
Right.
So there's different things that they'll learn about and read about.
College of Southern Nevada celebrating its 50th anniversary. They had a 50-year time capsule that they opened.
That's right.
And then they are going to rebury one for 50 years from now.
So we were talking about it would be so interesting to see what's in there since they buried it in 1971, right?
Yeah, what would be in there,
So the kids were able to be there, and those were the ones that were there for the burial. So that's very exciting.
That's pretty cool.
Imagine in 20 years they'll be like 27, 28.
I know.
They will remember when they buried it.
Exactly. And look at the stuff that was put in there. So always cool to do that. So that's out at Veterans Memorial. That is, if you're not familiar, it's right where Pavilion Pool is located. It's right next to Palo Verde High School. So it's a great area out there.
It is. It's beautiful.
It is. And it's one of those places where if you live in that area, you can literally walk or ride your bike to the center, to the pool.
Right across from Palo Verde High School.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and a lot of great amenities there. Wonderful classes. People are trying to figure out a way to stay in shape through COVID because it seems like we were locked down for so long. But lots of classes there, lots of opportunity to use.
Also for the kids.
And different programs.
This is where our Smart Start program was.
Right. So you have to check it out if you're not familiar with the Veterans Memorial Leisure Services Center out there in Ward 2 on Pavilion Drive. And then, Councilwoman, also, we want to talk about some of the great volunteers that we have in the city, and specifically that touch Ward 2. But the Red Rock Search and Rescue Team, maybe a lot of people out there don't know what they're all about.
Well, this is the group that if someone gets lost hiking in Red Rock, or somebody has dementia and gets lost, these are the people that go out and search for people. And they do it as volunteers.
Yeah, amazing.
It's a great group of people. They're well trained. They do all the FEMA training. They also lately are solving cold case files. Which is very interesting because, we don't have the resources and money. I guess Metro doesn't, and they do it on a volunteer basis. And they have solved some of them.
Wow.
They have done over 580 rescue searches.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
And they're all volunteer folks.
They're all volunteer.
Well, imagine how that helps because, like you say, Councilwoman, the police and the highway patrol, they don't have the resource to send hundreds of volunteers out into the into Red Rock looking for someone who might be missing, but this group can.
Right, and they do a great training. I mean, I had joined them for a while before I was elected to the Assembly, and we had to do different training courses. So they are a great group of people, and if somebody wants to volunteer, Red Rock Search and Rescue, they're always looking for volunteers.
They are, and they'll train you up. You don't have to just assume that they're just going to turn you loose and say, go figure it out.
Oh, no.
They're going to get you trained up.
They go through a big training program.
Right.
Yeah.
And valuable service to the community. With all the public lands that we have, all the areas that you can hike, the mountains around the area, an important group to have because invariably somebody's going to take that wrong turn or wait till it gets a little too dark to find their way back, and then they get stuck.
They've saved many lives. Many lives. When Metro had to turn around and go back because they had other things, they stayed out, and they've saved many lives.
Yeah, well, good for them.
Yeah.
And how many volunteer hours? You mentioned something about their hours or the number.
They've done over 580 searches.
580 searches. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. Well, good for them and congratulations. Another wonderful group helping people out there is Project 150. You posted this on Facebook. You said, today I had the honor to tour Project 150. They're a team of dedicated and hardworking individuals, many of them volunteers, and they focus specifically on homeless teens, right, Councilwoman?
Homeless teens that are still in high school, by the way. I mean, this is amazing that they're still going to high school and they're homeless, but they will provide meals daily. They provide, to take wherever. They also provide, as you see, a lot of things that you need, everyday stuff,
hygiene products,
hygiene products.
Mouthwash.
They provide clothes for these teens. And it's all volunteer. And this was one of the groups that Councilman Anthony recognized at council. And immediately I put them together with someone I knew that had a lot of clothes that were given for different organizations like this. And so she was able to go meet with them and offer her services. So we have the most amazing nonprofits in Las Vegas.
We really do.
I've never seen anything like it, where they are just giving, and you go meet these people and they have giving hearts. They just want to continue to find ways to give to the community.
Well, and I think what was staggering to the two of us is the numbers of homeless teens that we're talking about in the community. There are about 6,000. 6,000.
That's staggering.
Who are homeless teenagers. And then they're trying, as Councilwoman said, trying to go to school, trying to get their education, trying to stay focused without having a place to live. Yeah, I can't either.
But, again, whatever we can do to help them is what we need to do as a community. And the groups like these are the ones that are out there doing it.
I remember they were saying that when they first started, the name Project 150 comes from the fact that there were about 150 homeless teens that they were trying to help initially. That number's now grown to about 6,000. Yeah, it's a big, big difference. But it just shows you how our community has grown over time as well.
Yeah, it's growing pretty fast.
Yeah, and so do the needs. So, well, congratulations to Project 150, the volunteers there. And again, to your point, Councilwoman, I think it just underscores not only the great nonprofits we have in this town, but just the community spirit of wanting to help and volunteer. Volunteers at Project 150, volunteers for Red Rock Search and Rescue. It's amazing.
That's not easy, especially in the summer when you're out there searching for people in 117-degree weather. But you are dedicated to making sure that you give. I mean, we have amazing people here.
We do, because we all have busy lives. We have a lot going on. Some are busier than others, like Councilwoman here, who is always doing something somewhere with her constituents. But it's tough then. It's tough to find volunteer time when you're just living your busy life. But people do here in Las Vegas. They still manage to find that time, and it's a credit.
And we're grateful.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. And speaking of incredible organizations, yet one other we want to tell you about, the Women's Resource Medical Center. Now, I knew nothing about this organization until you and Dave McGowan on your team told me about them. I had no idea this group existed.
And they've been around for a while. For decades.
Yeah, and here I am, been here in Las Vegas many a year, and I'd never heard of this group. So again, what do the Women's Resource Medical Center, what do they do there?
Well, when people find themselves pregnant and they feel like they have no options but abortion, this one gives you another option. They help you by giving you free medical if you want to bring your baby to term. They have options of helping you with adoption. They have classes. They have parenting classes, motherhood classes. They help you with resources as far as food and diapers, etc. Now, they have a campaign going on where right now they have free medical up to birth. But their next step is to also have doctors that will deliver the babies for free, because all of this care is free.
Wow, that's amazing. And again, I didn't know this group existed.
It's a great group.
Well, thank you for bringing it to everyone's attention. Again, it's the Women's Resource Medical Center.
Correct.
And are they located in the city limits?
Yes, they are.
Okay, all right.
They are.
Well, very good. You learn something all the time, especially on this show. So we're going to tell you things that you didn't know. And again, a wonderful group of volunteers, a wonderful group of people that are helping a segment of the population.
Yes, they give them choices and they allow them to have the resources that they need.
Yep.
Because sometimes in those situations, people feel helpless.
Yeah, they sure do.
So it's a really great organization. It's another nonprofit that we have here.
You know, before the end of this program, we'll tell you how to get in touch with Councilwoman Seaman and her team. Oftentimes, if you have a need or if you have a question of where to turn in the community, just contact her team. They are very good at figuring out, you know, this is who you need to talk with, or this is who we'll hook you up with, or this is who we'll connect you with, because
we love doing that.
That's what you, and you're very knowledgeable about where these resources are.
Yeah, and we believe that's our job. Public servants. We are all public servants, and we love to help people
and
get
whether
to
it's,
where they need to go.
Yeah, whether it's a City of Las Vegas program or otherwise, we're going to point you in the right direction. Exactly. Well, this is a City of Las Vegas program, and we love it. You posted this on Facebook. You said, today we had a very busy morning with our breakfast buzz and Ward 2 biz at the Egg Works. Now, Councilwoman, we've talked about breakfast buzz. This is kind of like an informal get-together over some breakfast and meet the councilwoman, talk about community issues. There are some of the folks doing it right there.
Yeah, and we had an officer from Metro, so people had a lot of questions for him about the community.
They always do,
They always do. One of our marshals, and questions for him. And it's, like you said, informal, but at the, I give a little talk, and then say, do you have any questions? We're all here to answer those questions, and people do have questions.
Sure.
And they love mingling and telling us about everything going on in Ward 2. And this is probably one of my favorite events. And we do it once a month, and we'll continue to do it as long as I'm in office.
Yeah, that's very good. And now, Councilwoman, Breakfast Buzz is for anybody. Now, the Ward 2 biz is for Ward 2.
Well, we just call the event Breakfast Buzz Ward 2 Biz.
Okay,
biz.
So, I see what you did there with the bees. Yeah, I got you.
Breakfast
all right.
Buzz Ward 2 Biz.
Okay.
So you're getting breakfast, but we're talking about Ward 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's a great program because oftentimes I think people feel like, well, if they have to come down to City Hall,
they're not coming.
Yeah, it's like I gotta go to City Hall. It always seems a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But I can go to breakfast and talk to the councilwoman. That's easy
and
enough to do. It's right in my neighborhood.
Exactly. I mean, yes, you can talk to me here or there.
yeah, exactly.
But I actually meet more constituents at our events in Ward 2 than here, for the very reason that you said. Who wants to come to City Hall? First of all, it's a little bit of a drive.
Yeah, right.
They have to park. They have to come up. But, having those events right there in Ward 2 gives them access to me and access to my staff.
Sure.
My staff is amazing.
And
amazing.
Again, it's nice you do it every month. It rotates around. It's not always at the Egg Works, right? Or does it move?
It moves to a different restaurant in Ward 2. And if we've missed any of them, contact us. We're happy to do it in your restaurant, because it also introduces that restaurant in Ward 2 to the constituents. But yeah, we move around, and we'll do it anywhere that they'll let us have a space that we can do it.
Yeah, and it looks like you get a different crowd every time. It's not the same folks.
We get new people all the time, which is good.
That's good.
I mean, I love seeing my old friends, old constituents as well. So I hope they keep coming. But it's always nice to get new people.
Get the new folks out.
Every time we get at least 5 new people.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
It's good. Yeah,
that's a good turnout there. From the last one, I was back on August 7th. And then coming up in September, we talked about this earlier, but Art in the Park coming to Bruce Trent Park.
This is my favorite. So we started this in the spring. This is going to be a regular event in Ward 2 as long as I'm there. In the fall and the spring, we're doing Art in the Park, which means that people from anywhere can come and buy different art or handmade things. But this is also something we're inviting all our artists in the community
come on out.
to contact us if they would like to showcase their art in Art in the Park. There's going to be jazz music, food trucks. It's a great event for Ward 2 constituents to come and have a good time.
Yeah, it's September 25th, so it's not going to be 115 outside, so the weather will be nice.
No.
And it's from 10 to 4 that day.
Correct.
And Bruce Trent Park is located right at the corner of Vegas and Rampart, really very close to Summerlin Parkway, too. Easy to get to.
Easy access.
Yeah, easy access.
We will have parking. They don't have to worry about parking. There'll be plenty of parking.
There's tons of parking there.
There's tons of parking.
Yeah.
and we're very excited. This is going to be a regular thing if I can help it.
Yeah, back in the day, there was the big Boulder City Art in the Park, but you had to go all the way to Boulder City. But now
you don't.
you can just stay in Ward 2, which is very nice.
Yes.
So I like that.
It was so popular at our last one that we ran out of food.
I know. I remember. Well, it was the first time that we tried it, and it was a huge success.
We'll make sure they have enough food this
Exactly. We learn every time we do these. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, Councilwoman, the half hour always goes by very quickly, but love to have you on the show. It's great to have you back, and I want to tell everybody out there before we say goodbye, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, you can find her on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. She's very active on social media. You can also contact her just by picking up the phone. There's the number 702-229-2420, or send her an email. Her address is ward2@lasvegasnevada.gov, and she or one of her great staff will get back to you right away. And again, as we said earlier, if you have a question about anything, whether it's city related or not, you're not quite sure who to turn to or who does what within the city or the state, contact her office. They're very good about figuring out, okay, this is who you need to chat with, or this is the number to call, or this is the website to visit to find what it is you're looking for.
Yeah, and I hope to see everybody at our next Breakfast Buzz, Ward 2 Biz.
Coming up.
Or our Art in the Park.
Yeah.
I'll be there, and I look forward to meeting constituents.
Exactly. She's very accessible and easy to talk with, as you can probably tell. So, well, Councilwoman, great to see you again. We'll have you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 2. And in the meantime, everyone, don't miss our next show beginning on September 2nd with Ward 5 City Councilman Cedric Creer. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code after the show to download and subscribe to our newsletter. Don't forget you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next time around.